How to Be an Adult, David Richo's Roadmap for Spiritual and Emotional Maturity. Psychotherapist and author Dr. David Richo offers us a path for transforming fear-based patterns into emotionally healthy responses. His book, How to Be an Adult, a handbook on psychological and spiritual integration, is the roadmap for understanding and integrating psychological and spiritual maturity. Using the heroic journey framework, Richo provides insight on how we can move beyond the constraints of childhood experiences and the neurotic ego into fully realized adults capable of loving ourselves and others authentically. Richo uses the structure of the hero's journey, noted by Joseph Campbell, to describe the process of maturing. Departure. The first step in the hero's journey is leaving behind what is familiar, typically our attachment to illusions and childhood coping mechanisms. In the context of adulthood, this means confronting and letting go of our childhood traumas, dysfunctional patterns, and unrealistic expectations about life and relationships. Departure is psychological and emotional, and it moves us from dependency to independence, where we learn to meet our own needs while remaining open to connection with others. Struggle. As the hero faces obstacles, so must the individual on the journey to maturity. In this phase, we work through our fears, navigate personal challenges, and take responsibility for our emotional growth. This is where we begin to shed the neurotic behaviors that keep us stuck. Healing old wounds is not about dwelling in the past, but understanding how those earlier experiences shape current patterns. Mindful awareness helps us make conscious responses rather than automatic reactions. Return. The final phase of the journey is one of integration and transformation. As we return to ourselves, we do so with a new sense of self-awareness, embodying love, compassion, and acceptance for who we are. This return symbolizes the realization that we are whole and capable of offering unconditional love to ourselves and others. Central to Richo's approach is the relationship between the ego and the self. A functional ego allows us to engage with the world effectively, maintaining a healthy sense of self while allowing for deep connections with others. It is not ruled by attachment, control, or fear, but operates from a place of confidence and clarity. Neurotic ego. When the ego becomes dominated by past wounds, such as unmet childhood needs, it turns neurotic. This neurotic ego leads to behaviors like attachment, fear of abandonment, controlling tendencies, and emotional reactivity. It creates conflict in relationships and keeps us stuck in unhealthy cycles of dependence or avoidance. Richo stresses that a critical part of maturing is healing childhood wounds. Whether we had loving, nurturing parents or experienced neglect or abuse, early experiences shape how we relate to others and ourselves as adults. Mourning the past. Unresolved childhood pain often manifests in our adult relationships as unmet needs or emotional reactivity. He emphasizes the importance of grieving these losses. Through mourning, we can let go of the past and move forward with a healed heart. Integrating past trauma. Rather than simply suppressing painful memories, he encourages us to revisit them with compassion. By re-experiencing these memories and imagining ourselves acting with strength and assertiveness, we can release their hold over us and integrate the lessons they offer. One of the core concepts in How to Be an Adult is the importance of the 5 A's, the foundational elements that support healthy, fulfilling relationships. Attention, truly seeing and listening to others, offering them our full presence. Acceptance, embracing others as they are, without judgment or expectation of change. Appreciation, acknowledging and valuing the contributions and qualities of others. Allowing, giving others the freedom to be themselves without trying to control or limit their expression. Affection, offering warmth, care, and tenderness in our interactions. Mindfulness, being fully present in the moment without judgment, allows us to observe our feelings and experiences without being overwhelmed by them. This leads to greater emotional clarity, self-awareness, and ultimately the ability to respond to life and relationships with wisdom rather than reactivity. Personal boundaries are not walls, they are the limits we set to protect our emotional, physical, and psychological well-being. A healthy adult relationship is one in which both partners respect each other's boundaries while remaining emotionally available. True intimacy involves sharing vulnerability while maintaining a sense of self-respect and autonomy. Some of his key lessons around grief and relationships. Grief and letting go. Accept loss. Rather than running from painful emotions, we need to allow ourselves to feel grief deeply. Release attachments. Grief work helps us release attachments to people, things, and even ideas that no longer serve us. Relationship dynamics. Conflict as growth. Conflict helps partners uncover deeper truths about themselves and each other, leading to a more authentic and lasting bond. Commitment. True intimacy is not built on idealization, but on mutual respect, understanding, and the willingness to grow together through all challenges. At its heart, How to Be an Adult is a spiritual guide. Richo believes that true adulthood goes beyond psychological maturity. It involves spiritual growth and the embodiment of genuine self-love. The ultimate goal is to align our ego with the self, that part of us that is already whole and perfect. This journey requires accepting life's challenges, including suffering, imperfection, and change, and responding with love and compassion. The adult isn't someone who has it all figured out, but rather someone who can navigate uncertainty with grace, love despite imperfections, and continue growing throughout life. Hi, I'm Ellen McCurdy, and if you enjoyed my free digital report, The Big Three Things That Are Harming You and You Don't Even Know It, you might want to get my ebook, 12 Dangers to Your Best Life and How to Fix Them. It comes with several bonuses, including wall art, a tracker, and another digital report on bladder leaks. The link will be in the description, or you can go to my website, triumphandgrace.com. Thank you. Talk to you later.